Hey guys, and welcome back. So let's play Dark Souls 2. Kita Edition! As we praise the skies. So you guys might notice I just got a bunch of new items dropped in this because I finally put in my Black Armor Edition code. So let's go ahead and look at some of these items that I just got. Alright, so we got the Yellow Quartz Longsword. A straight sword affixed with yellow quartz. This longsword was found in the Iron Keep. Breaks easily due to corrosion, but it's light and still inflicts very significant damage. In the old Iron King's Great Iron Keep was a vast collection of weapons erected as a display of strength to the world, but they were lost when the king's conceit doomed the castle to sink into a lake of fire. So, that's kind of for you guys who aren't that far yet, but if you did see the trailer, this is kind of a hint that the Iron King's castle might be related to that big giant flaming dude that we saw in the trailer for the game, in the Cursed trailer. So, that's kind of a hint there if you guys are looking at that. And also one of the tales of what happened with the Iron King. There are a couple tales surrounding him. He's actually a pretty interesting character. Possibly worthy of a lore video at some points, maybe. We shall see. Homunculus Mace. A pole with lumps attached to it, found in the manor in Aldea. Heavier than a standard mace, but with more effective striking owing to its hard lumps. In the far eastern outskirts of Drangleic lies an old manor that is now long forgotten, as it should be, for the things that lurk there are better left unknown. So this was originally called the Pygmy Mace, and they switched the name of it to the Homunculus Mace. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's found in the manor in Aldea, which is actually a location later in the game. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler for you guys, but this is somewhere we're going to end up being. I haven't finished exploring this manor, but I haven't found any pygmy references yet, so it's something that possibly could have proved my Manus lore video wrong, possibly, but the way I'm seeing Dark Souls 2 shape in terms of a lore, I don't think anything actually does prove that wrong at the moment. So, if I do say so myself, I don't think I'm seeing anything. Transgressor's Leather Shield. A shield enwrathed in matte blackness, found in the heart of the Dark Chasm. No one knows what lies beyond the dark passages found across Drangleic, but perhaps they're better left undisturbed. So that would be from the Dark Chasm. A little connection for you guys there. And, here you actually have all four of them. Was the Bound another one? Found on Dead Purgatory. I guess not. If I'm wrong, correct me. I think it was the Transgressor. We should have both, actually. Black Flamestone's one of them. I should have a Transgressor weapon if that's another one. Maybe it's Bound. Oh, Bound. That's the one. Okay, my mistake there. Or is it Transgressor? We'll just read out both. Let's go ahead and go Black Flamestone Dagger here, though. So, dagger fixed with a black crystal found deep inside the gutter in the Black Gulch. Heavier than a standard dagger, but with a fine crystal that gives it a smoother slice. Some of the more determined souls exiled to the gutter sought to scale the walls of the Forsaken Place and walk the earth once again, but failed, and wasted away mired in misery and resentment. Okay, so the gutter, for you guys, is actually going to be right up here. This is our gutter. And if you guys see wonky camera controls, it's because I actually injured my hand pretty badly earlier today playing American football. So it's really torn up, and that's my right hand. Luckily, I play claw grip when I do Dark Souls, so it kind of helps out with this. But anyways, that is the gutter, is that area up there, so that's what that's referring to. And let's go ahead and check out our last final weapon there. Bound Hand Axe. Found in Undead Purgatory. The chains and spikes wrapped around the axe cause bleeding, but weaken the axe's effectiveness while slashing. Accessories that are added to a weapon for the sole purpose of tormenting foes can often detract from the weapon's natural effectiveness. So, I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. But, guys, I'll be right back in just a moment. Alright, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just, had to go for a second. But, something I wanted to make sure to grab because I forgot last time, as you guys were pointing out to me, is right here, this box behind Lenegrast. This is going to contain a short bow. So, there's our short bow, which I actually really prefer using over the crossbow, especially because I don't got no strength. And the other thing that I forgot to grab that no one pointed out to me, shame on you, is that I actually forgot to go up here and grab behind Molin. There's a ladder that took me a while to realize. I actually realized after the Let's Play, so shame on me as well. that this contains a Titanite shard. So, not a lot, but might as well go rob him because he's about to, I don't know. I feel bad for him, but then I don't after talking to him enough.
Oh, hello again.
So if you guys remember, he's not doing too hot. So let's go ahead and buy an item to help him out. Might as well, let's see. Let's go ahead and buy the rest of the Falconer gear. Because I don't really care much about those swords, but we'll just do that. Because eventually he's going to stock up on boss gear, so we do want him to be able to eventually stock up on that.
Thanks very much.
So he's going to be very thankful that we bought that from him.
Well, thank you for coming back.
So, okay. I think his dialogue will progress a little bit further once we use a bonfire. So that's going to be Molin for the time being. And something I should go back and do. There's a couple things before we move forward. Some things that you guys point out to me, so thank you guys so much for pointing it out. As I do miss things as well. I'm learning the ropes just like you guys. So let's go back to the Cardinal Tower first, and then we've actually got some things betwixt stuff to do. I would like to become a man again, but there's also an item at the very, very beginning that I missed, so... because Kita is a man! If you know what I'm saying. He's a manly man. He has so much chest hair that it's like forced. It's actually insane. He probably needs to get that checked out. It's more chest hair than he knows what to do with. So, anyways, there are things I missed and some things that I can now do that I can point out here. One is an Estus Flash shard that's going to be pretty important. The other is a shortcut that I honestly never knew about until I was watching an Epic Name Bro video, so I got to give him a shout out. I'm a huge fan of Epic Name Bro. I watch his videos too, for you guys who also watch his videos. But something I didn't know that you guys were actually telling me is you can break this. So I could open it now that I have the key, but might as well break it to just show that off, because that's pretty cool. So you can do that without ever getting the key and open up this path. So I never knew that. So thank you guys for throwing that out to me. You guys rock. I love when you guys share things I didn't know like that. So Hand Axe and Radiant Life Gem we can find there. None of these are traps, I don't believe, so we can just go ahead and open these treasure chests up. Get a small leather shield, some repair powder, which if our weapon does break while we're out in the field, we don't need to warp back to Leningrad. We can just repair our weapon right at the bonfire with that, I believe. Or maybe that actually, let me check. It might be just to repair the durability while we're on the run. So let's find out about it. Oh, and it repairs durability. I'm sorry, my mistake. Weapons armor wear down with use allows too much wear and you won't be able to use them. You only have yourself to blame if you find yourself in a crisis with no powder to spare. So, apparently it just repairs your equipment durability, and I don't think it repairs your broken equipment. But that's still good to know if you notice that your equipment's about to break and you're not near a bonfire. Although I recommend having another weapon to use as a backup. So this guy's gonna come out. I guess I just kind of missed where he was at. No and no. You're not gonna do anything to me. Get out of here. Now, I believe this is the Estus Flash shard in here, so let's go ahead and take our Chardonnay and grab that up from there. Estus Flask Chardonnay, the best type of Estus Flask. And also our small white sign soapstone. One of you guys was telling me through Twitter, and I'm sorry I'm blanking out on who, but someone was telling me on Twitter and explained to me what that actually does. Because I was kind of confused on why would you ever use the small white sign soapstone over the white sign soapstone. Use the white sign soapstone, you're going to get a token of fidelity, which will help you rank up in the blue sentinels. Well, apparently if you use a small white sign soapstone and you help and are successful in helping somebody out and succeed, you get a small, smooth, and silky stone, which will give you a random item from one of the crows. So that's kind of where that's useful if you want to get that random item drop. So we got to be careful and try to drop down on this branch here. And by careful, I mean not too careful, because I don't care. I take risks left and right to get a Divine Blessing, which I've never actually used in my normal game, but might as well. So if you do get that item up there, that Estus Flask shard, I was actually mistaken. You have 4 Estus Flasks before you ever go face the last giant. So just some good info to know. Now there is another thing here to wrap up and do before I move forward to the Hades Flame, which I love. Apparently if you wear the cat ring, you can actually get down there immediately. There's another way, there's another key you can get that will bring you down there eventually. So you can choose whichever option you would prefer. I think it's kind of a preference thing. In my mind, I don't think there's any reason you really need to go down there early. So I would just go ahead and wait till you get, because those beasts down there who spew fire are pretty difficult. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. So Whoops, missing this. I blame my broken hand. It's not broken, it's just really badly scraped up. So here you go. You can use the soldier's key to open this up. There's going to be Bonfire there. I don't think there's really much reason to go there at the moment for us, so we're going to move forward without doing it. And shoot, I don't think I have any flame things, actually, now that I think about this, and that's what I really wanted here. Let me see if I do. Hold on. Start button is not working. Do I have any... Oh, I do have fire bombs. Sweet. Okay, never mind. I want to make sure I have fire bombs for what we're about to do here. So, something I didn't know about earlier, and this is actually something I learned after my Let's Play, both thanks to you guys and actually while doing a stream as well, was that there are a lot of explosive barrels that open shortcuts. I just knew that there were explosive barrels, but I didn't know that there were shortcuts that they opened up. So it's actually pretty cool. And they're all areas you can go to eventually or wrap around to that I've found so far, but I haven't really had a chance to experiment with them. Now there's a couple ways to open this up. We're gonna try to bait this guy to throw a firebomb at us to open it up, but that might not be the best way. Probably isn't the best way, because then if it blows up on us, we'll die. So and that'll be my first death, and I don't want that. So let's go ahead and equip a firebomb there so we can throw it. So we got our firebomb set. And if you guys notice, I switched my menu option to hide occasionally. I've actually found that I prefer that now. It took me a while to get used to it, but now I actually really like it. So if we throw a firebomb at this, that'll blow up that wall there. And boom, boom, we got a giant shortcut opened up here now, which is something, like I said, I didn't know about until watching Epic Name Bro's video. So Epic Name Bro, still the master of Dark Souls. Still the master. I mean, he did have 4 months working on the strategy guide, so he did have that. But anyways, this is a nice little shortcut for you guys. Let's go ahead and smack that shield out of his way. None of that. I will have none of that. Whatever. Now I'll have some of it. And there's one more thing here that I did miss that I want to go ahead and grab while I show you guys that shortcut. And this is something I didn't know about, but you guys showed me this, so thank you guys so much for this one. This is all thanks to you that I found out about this. So here we go. Boom. Let's take out hollows. I know you could just lure those guys out from their ambush spot, but I actually find it easier to wrap around to them, because then you pretty much have a quick way to deal with them one at a time. So that is my thoughts on those guys. You can do whatever way you prefer, but I think that. So apparently with this door, it's locked and does not open from this side. So I just always assume there's some sort of way to wrap around, but there isn't. So let's wake up the guys on the other side with noise and try and lure them out. So we should be able to wake them up just by banging our sword around on this. And that will actually get the hollows on the other side to open the door for us, so we don't have to worry about it. And it's the only way out here, too. Come on, guys. Wake up. Time to wake up. I'm gonna keep making noise. There we go. So see, baited this hollow to open the door for us, and now we can actually go ahead and go through here. So that was one that I didn't know. So again, you guys really rocking it. And next time I give you guys shoutouts, I will try to actually have your names in stow for your shoutouts. I feel really bad when I don't, because you guys do deserve it. So maybe I'll put that in the description of the video and re-look that up, who I learned some of these things from. But, oh, okay, so here we go. Someone actually put try attacking on here. Let's rate them up. You get a rate up. And that also has to do with me having played this game before it was released. That was a lot of my first playthroughs, so I didn't get that message system or any of that, of anyone being able to help me out. So this is going to wrap up what we really want to do back in this beginning area, or the Force of Fallen Giants here. So here we get another life ring. I already grabbed that as my starting equipment, but the large Titanite shard will come in handy. So I already have the life ring, as you can see, but there's just a quick way to pick it up. And with that in mind, I did recommend picking up the life gem, or the life ring at the beginning, but now I kind of take that back and say Healing Wares is probably the best. I'm not saying that just because EMB or Marcus, I should call him Marcus because that's what he prefers, but what Marcus said in his video, I'm just saying that because apparently you can find the life ring right off the bat. So I actually say Bonfire Ascetic or go with the Healing Wares. Bonfire Ascetic has some really cool stuff that you can do. Hey, what's up there? So I was just hanging out the other day when my head got stuck in a wall. And, you know, it's just a common problem that happens. heads getting stuck in walls left and right. That is awesome. That's a great glitch. I'm really sad that the ragdoll stuff is gone in this game, but that kind of makes up for it. Looks like this guy's using the small white soapstone over there. Oh, I didn't want to summon someone. I'm trying to warp away. So there's actually another thing we can do at the Lost Bastille, which I'm going to go ahead and do as well, and then we'll go back to the beginning area in Julep. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up in all this. But this is another explosion thing, so that's why I want to show this off. Now, you guys were suggesting to me I could just drop the explosive barrel on the dogs, but I already dealt with those dogs. I don't need to show that off and be like, oh, well, here is this strategy. You can drop an explosive barrel on the dogs. It's awesome. It works really well. It's something I didn't know, but we're going to do something different here. So let's go ahead and do that. So this, when I go face the boss, I like to just go this way. The 3 sentries who you have to face, who are kind of killer here. Get through this guy and stun him, and then let's... Oh, I was early on that. But it kind of worked out anyways. Wow, what was with that? Missed all of those. Someone's gonna say, well, Dave, if you were targeting... I don't like targeting in this game. I'm sorry. I just don't. I like targeting, just not in this game. In this one. Dark Souls 1, I target all the time. I was all about it. If you guys watch my Let's Play Dark Souls series, you will know. You will know that I was all about the targeting. But this one, not so much. So the reason I didn't go this way initially is this is actually something I found out about afterwards. After making my Let's Play Dark Souls 2. Someone told me when I was doing the stream. I actually did a Dark Souls 2 stream for Machinima. So, and they might be having me back, which is really awesome, and I hope they do. But what I did do out of that is I decided to make Dave Control Live a Twitch channel. And I haven't twitched. I haven't streamed anything yet through it, but if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, it's the exact same thing as my YouTube handle. It's going to be Dave Control Live, and if people want enough and people started actually following it, I'll start streaming Dark Souls 2, or other videos too. I'll start streaming on my Twitch account if people want it. I'm going to try and lure this guy so he doesn't hit that barrel. If he busts that barrel open, it's going to ruin our giant scheme of things. Oh. So, got him not to. And we're going to roll away from him now. And now we can just do 3 hits and take him out. Real easy like that. Again, the mummies are not a big deal. So, if you roll this hard enough and get it to hit just right, you actually don't need to use a firebomb. And hopefully it'll do it. Yeah, it did it. I've had it roll before where it didn't blow up the wall. But when that happens, you can throw a firebomb at it to blow it up. So, I always thought this was just a dead end because of this gate right here, which you have to open from the other direction. But you can actually do this. There is a key you get later, a Bastille key, to open this up, which is another way around. But here's a shortcut right there. You can notice a giant crack in the wall, which is a way to find it and notice it. And we have another bonfire here. Another bonfire. And that's going to be the shortcut here to McDuff's workshop, which we can't really utilize yet, since we need to give him a certain ember. It's the only ember you can find in the game that you can really use as an ember, but you give it to him.
Oh, why can't they all be this easy?
You're talking about the ladies, right? Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
We've got a wild one here.
Yeah, I'm pretty crazy. Monocle beret. Monocle beret, excuse me. Monocle beret combo. Crazy. I'm gonna keep talking about that just for you guys who love the monocle beret. Look, I don't know. I'm just on the monocles. Sorry. The beret's cool though.
Oh, that's it. Yes, that's the way.
Yep, that's the way.
Dear flame, how brightly you burn.
So McDuff here is absolutely obsessed with fires.
I ought to fetch a new ember.
So there he goes, out of fetch a new ember.
Flame, dear flame.
So that's the little hint there that there's a ember that you need to find to get him. He's also sitting on the treasure chest. So I've never tried this, and I wonder if anyone has, but I wonder if you kill him, what's in the treasure chest that he's sitting under. Something to think about. I've never tried this, so if anyone has, in the comments, go ahead and let me know. I'd love to know. But this is going to like give you tons and tons of Titanite shards and various things like that. 5 Titanite shards off of that one box treasure chest. So really a great start to being able to start leveling up various things, not just one sword, but once you find other swords that you like and enjoy. A couple large Titanite shards there, so once again we can level up my Heide Knight sword. So awesome stuff there. let's go ahead and warp out now. And this time, what we're going to warp to, as we unlock this bonfire, is finally going to be things betwixt. As I said, there are a couple things I'm going to need to do here. And then we're going to go to Heide's Tower of Flame. Astrologist gauntlets. Even the collective wisdom of the Melfian Magic Academy cannot pull magic out of the sky, but the ideas of the astrologist led to the creation of new and very useful magic devices. Gauntlets written by the astrologist of Melfia. Always cool item descriptions. I love that about the Dark Souls series, that they have those item descriptions. Now that I know how useful and incredible they all are, and I really enjoy that. Okay, so here's something I missed at the very, very beginning of the game. Something I didn't know about until after doing my Let's Play of Dark Souls 2, which I now know. So again, discovering things as I go, and as I do, I will try to show you guys these new things, even if they're now old things for you guys, because it's just good stuff to show off. So if we go over to the right here, you'll see these footprints. And this is for this giant hippo monster whose name is like an ogre, I think. This is what they're actually called, but I prefer hippo monster. Giant tracks, and there you find this guy. Not worth fighting until you get your weapons, but you can immediately go back and fight this guy, and then he's worth dealing with. So he will definitely be a whole lot easier this time for me, as I don't have to deal with two. I just have the one. So there you see, it's pretty easy to just get away from his attacks. And actually, I can just deal double damage to him there. Try and bait him to sit down on me. That is the one attack you do not want to get hit with no matter what. If he sits down and you bait him to do that, he's pretty easy to kill. Yeah, there we go. Get your ass down, son. We're gonna do 3 attacks and take you out. Now what you're gonna get from him is a really useful ring, which is the stun ring, and this is a 100%, he always drops this ring, and specifically this one that will drop it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and unequip the life ring because I don't feel like I need it. I prefer to use the stun ring because it adds additional reduction of enemy poise. The beloved ring of the gallant shieldless Lothian, formerly of Ferosa, kind of a warring state. Hits greatly reduce enemy poise. The effect may seem trivial, but for those who comprehend how critical it is to exploit a hole in enemy defenses, the significance of this ring will be clear. I love staggering enemies. Let's do it. Let's break their poise. And I'm pretty sure that that's actually all there is to this area. Now, if I run over here, this is going to be, this is that waterfall area that, if you drop down to where there's one of those items that I already picked up. But this is a nice little wraparound. I actually like the look of this area. Things Betwixt is, to me, one of the most interesting visually areas in the game. Which, look, if you guys, I'm not trying to, like, downgrade the rest of the game. I just really love the Things Betwixt. And to me, that's just, I love forests. Personally, I really like forests. I actually like this better than the forest from the beta, which we'll eventually go to. Not in this Let's Play, but we'll get there eventually. I don't know, something about the mysticism and how this forest looks with the giant trees really speaks to me. I really enjoy it. So let's go ahead and turn Kita back into a man, because as curious as I am what to see with the woman where it looks like, I always refer to Kita as a guy, and I don't know. I kind of like playing as my own gender. Nothing against people who like playing as other genders or like doing the dress-up thing. It's whatever. It's your thing. I don't care. But Kita also just likes laying in boats that look like coffins too. He's a weird guy, this Kita. He likes laying in boats that look like coffins. He does war screams every time you see him again. War cries of madness. It's just Kita is how Kita does. But there we go. So, I mean, the other reason to show this off is because now I can show you guys, if I unequip my armor here, that I'm back to being a guy again. So, it's just good to point out that it's not a permanent thing. So if you guys jump in there and you don't like the fact that you became a girl, you can turn back into a guy. And if you decide once again, you're like, you know what, I want to be a girl again, you can go back. This is an infinite use coffin as far as I know. I think I jumped in it 4 times in my first and kind of my furthest game. And because the first 2 times, the first time I didn't know what it did, so I jumped back into it to try and trigger something and didn't know, so I just ran away. And then Vadi actually told me what it did, so I went when we were in San Francisco, so I went ahead and tried it again. I was like, oh! And it turned back into a guy, so I was able to use it 4 times, so I'm assuming it's infinite use. No, 4 does not equal infinity, nor is it even close, but hey, what is close to infinity? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, y'all. That's kind of a reference to the song War. Great, great song from the Vietnam War. I was about to say the Cold War. How wrong that would have been. So here you can see Melentia has moved places. She has now moved over to Majula, and there are a number of various NPCs we can get to move into Majula, which I'm all about. I like that, doing that. So she's not gonna sell anything new here, though. Yeah, I'll be stingy. I'll be stingy. Ha! So let's go ahead and talk to the Emerald Herald and reach a couple levels, because might as well. Stop looking so down, Emerald Herald.
Is that a shard you here to see?
So the other thing we can do, we got another Estus shard. Thank you. I actually forgot, so I'm glad she reminds you, because sometimes I do forget about that. Which I know is something vital like that. How could you possibly forget? I don't know, guys. I just do. I just do. So I'm doing a lot of things here. So you know me, gotta get my adaptability. Ooh, it's gonna take a couple to raise up agility. So actually, attunement can also raise up your agility as well, just so you guys know. Let's go ahead and do... Let's do one for attunement, adaptability. I mean, that'll eventually come in handy. And let's actually get some endurance and some stamina this time around. I do like having that stamina meter go up. So that'll be this one. And I think, let's the rest of this bonfire. I don't think I'm gonna die. I'm not too worried about it here, but just in case. You never know if like an invader will come and mess me up. I mean, I'll mess him up, but you never know. Oh, you know what else we could do too? We can go ahead and upgrade the Heide sword again, a little bit further. And while eventually I'm gonna find some more swords I like more. Some more swords I like more, way for me to speak properly. I will find other swords. For the moment, I am upgrading the Heide sword, and let's go ahead and keep on doing this trend. Get some more lightning damage, get some more attack damage as well. So let's just do it.
I'll be around.
So there we go with that. And Kate, actually, Kale, or I think his name is Kate. Kale, Kate, maybe his name is Kale. The cartographer is actually going to be around in Majula now. Apparently the trigger to make him appear in Majula after talking to him and opening the door is to kill the skeleton, which is what he was talking about, that creepy thing. I thought there would be more, but apparently it's just that one skeleton, which isn't too bad. But we took care of it, so now he's here. We have our first bonfire lit. I think this is this bonfire here. This light might be Majula? Well, it's not, because we didn't have anything lit before, did we? So I'm honestly not sure which bonfire this one is. So if you guys know, let me know. It's clearly not from Heide. So it could be that bonfire from the Forest of Fallen Giants. But I'm really not sure.
Oh, hello again.
Hello, Kale.
You've made
Kate? Kale, Kate.
The map, I presume.
Yeah, so he was the one who really showed me that this is what the map was. I didn't even realize until he showed up that this was the map. I just thought it was like a giant stone nothing.
Even more flames have appeared.
Yep, flames have been appearing. You don't know what causes it, but I do. It's bonfires I'm lighting. There you go. I actually always thought it was primal bonfires. I think I could say that now at this point. Enough people play the game and start to get far in it. I think it's a different type of bonfire called primal bonfires. That's what I used to think lit it up, but I think now that I was wrong in thinking that. I thought. Well, if you guys want me to do the Champions Covenant, apparently it actually does make the game harder. It's just something I never noticed when I was in it. Let me know and I will join the Covenant of Champions. For now, we're just going to keep playing normally. So, that switch over there is actually really important. There's a character we're going to talk to at the Heide Tower of Flame. After you talk to her, she'll appear here and she'll actually move this switch over where you see this gate. And the whole room will spin around and turn for you and open up an entirely new path that you need to take. So that's kind of the danger about the fact that they took away the backtracking element in the game a little bit by having travel and warping immediately available to you, is you might not be as keen to travel to old areas as you were before. And it's still kind of important, because that's something, again, I didn't notice. Vadi had to tell me that, because I was so used to traveling all of a sudden, just fast warping all the time. Crimson Parma's just a good starting shield if you guys want to shield right off the bat and don't have to worry about going to the Forest of Fallen Giants or anything. Oh my god. We got to go back to Majula. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There's something I missed in Majula. It was actually something I was going to do at the very, very start and told myself I was going to do, and somehow I forgot about it. I'm sure a bunch of you guys were screaming at me. Sorry. I know we will get to the Heide Tower of Flame. I swear to you guys, we will get there. My bad on this. I really do want to show this off. So, for any of you aspiring lore masters out there who want to make lore videos, this is going to be incredibly important for you. Even though I honestly think for making lore videos, it worked far better in Dark Souls. It makes sense how they made it in Dark Souls 2. Demon Souls has the absolute worst of this version of items in it for making lore videos and all that. If you're not going to use hacks, that is, which I don't use. Nothing against people who do use them. I just don't. But notice this ledge I just dropped down onto. You can drop here from the very beginning of the game. And first we're going to get a little set here. We got a Morning Star and a Cleric's Sacred Chime. Cleric's Sacred Chime I think is the more interesting of the two, as it's going to be our first way to cast miracles. And this is actually different than Catalyst. Now it's chimes. Most clerics receive this as their first sacred chime, a catalyst for miracles and hexes. So this is also how you cast hexes. To use miracles, equip a sacred chime and attune a miracle at a bonfire. The strength of most miracles is affected by the caster's faith. So again, that's if you guys want a right away to have a catalyst, that's your way to have a catalyst. Or a way to use your miracles, I should say. They are now called chimes. And you're going to get the binoculars. The binoculars, which are great for lore videos. That's how you get every cool shot that you will ever need in a lore video. For any type of lore video, narrative or analytical. Don't matter. Binoculars come in handy. So, binoculars actually a little different this time around. I will try to equip it while I'm running. So, I like equipping to my left hand. And it doesn't weigh too much. It's 0.3, but it does weigh a little bit. So, not necessarily worth to just carry around if you're not going to use it, but here you go. You actually press the trigger buttons to use it. So either the bumper or the trigger, or if you're playing on a PS3, R1 or L1, L2, R1, R2, depending on which hand you have it in. So I'm going to go ahead and equip it because right now I don't really have the weight to spare for it. But that is how you use the binoculars. It has a central focus on it, so other than what's centered on it, everything else is going to be a little out of distorted, out of focus, which is a little more like real binoculars, but not as good for me trying to get cool shots for lore with pans and things like that. But it does work a little bit differently. So there's another switch on this side that opens up that gate, as this gate will close behind you. Also, if you stand underneath here like this, the gate will close and actually smash you and kill you. So be careful about that. But since it does close, both sides have that way of opening it up, which may be a way of doing loading and all that, just kind of a way to hide it. Kingsfield had things like that, a lot of games where there are no seeable loading times to do that type of stuff. So here you have Hades Tower of Flame. I'm using the Hades sword, so they had that connection there. And I actually should have my binoculars out right now, just so I could, let's do binocular stuff right now, to show some of this cool stuff. So, here this tower is going to have some really important cool stuff I know you guys want me to talk about, so we'll see if I do it during this Let's Play. I think I have time. I probably will go ahead and do that. I just don't want to die. Here's that lighthouse up there. I haven't found a way to get to the top. If you guys know a way to get to the top, let me know, but I so far haven't found one. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Maybe I haven't unlocked every way to get up there. But that would be really cool if you get to the top. But this is actually visually one of my favorite areas in the game as well. I know I keep saying that. There's some really cool visual areas in the game. But to me, things betwixt and Hades Tower here are some of the coolest. I love the fact that you can see the night sky. Yeah, that lighthouse. Just all the sunken towers and ruins, and just the architecture of it all is really, really awesome. I really love it. I'm a fan. So, let's go ahead and equip our shield again. And for these guys, the easiest way to deal with them is just roll through their attack, and they will attack 3 times usually, sometimes 4 rarely. And you can see I'm just destroying this guy now that I have my Hades sword leveled up a bunch with that large Titanite. But see, just roll past them, and he's easy enough to take care of. Drop a cracked blue eye out for you his first time. These guys are interesting. Notice it looks like they have Gwyn's great knight sword there, and also the hawk. At first I was thinking it was related to Gwyn, but now I think it might be Vendrick that these guys are supposed to represent, like statues of King Vendrick. And that's now, I think that's what it's supposed to be. King Vendrick's armor looks similar to Gwyn's. Wow, that could have kind of been a spoiler. Anyways, I think that could represent King Vendrick. I find these guys a little bit harder to dodge out of the way because they chase you on that first one, and as you can see, I rolled early. Just be careful. Make sure that he's swinging down when you actually start to roll. Fortunately, it's not going to do much to me because of my Drangleic armor, or really, really good armor. This guy's not going to respawn after you kill him. And we get Sublime Bone Dust from him, which is going to allow us to level up our Estus Flask to a +1, which I will show before I go to what I know you guys want to see. Some human effigy off of this bro right here. This guy's actually pretty important to kill here, and I'll show you why. Developers try to make it so you can't just run through the game, and it's really cool how they did it. At least run through certain areas of the game, and this is one of those areas. And I will show off what I mean by that as we take out this guy right there. By popping him off, that was sick. Get the Loy's Talisman. So because I killed him, this will now appear and pop up, which is going to make it so you can go to the boss right there. You actually can fight the boss that's straight ahead in that area. But by pulling this lever, we're now going to have a bit of a bigger battleground to kill him. And again, that only appears if we killed all those guys, or if we kill specifically that guy. So it's just a way to make it, the developers have made it to try to make it so you're not going to just run through. And you will take your time a little bit more. I think I'm going to unfortunately piss off a couple of these guys in doing this. Yeah, it looks like I'm pissing off all three. So, for now, I'm just going to go ahead and run to the boss, and we will come back over here when we can only piss off 2 of them at a time. Not worth it when we got 3 of them pissed off at once to try and deal with that. It just ain't worth it. I'm sorry. Yes, there's a chest over there. I will get it in a little bit. First, let's go ahead and deal with our first boss of the Heide Flame Tower area, the Dragon Rider. Not much of a boss, if you ask me. You'll see what I mean. You'll see. Pretty easy right there. We can just use that same method, just roll through his attack. And if we roll through his attack, we don't have anything to worry about. We can literally just kind of back up, bait his attack, any attack, and just roll through any of his attacks, and that's a good, easy strategy to beat this guy. Just like those enemies I was just dealing with. Bait him, roll through his first attack him twice, back off, rinse and repeat. And that's all you have to do for these Dragon Riders. That's the sole strategy you gotta do. Soul strategy? Okay. If you're playing distance, it's also pretty easy if you're doing a sorcery build to just keep your distance from this guy and just stay far away from him. But melee-wise, that's all you have to do. You can see flawless victory! Didn't have to do anything. That simple. So we're gonna get some equipment from it. We're gonna soul to look at. I'm gonna go level up some more, use my Sublime Bone Dust, and we will be back at this area to take care of some more enemies. But let's go ahead and look at the Dragon Rider's soul. So, Dragon Rider's soul. Where are you? Oh, wait. I know where you are. I'm just being dumb. Dragon Rider's soul. Soul of a Dragon Rider who faithfully served King Vendrick. Long ago, the Dragon Riders mounted worms and were feared on the battlefield for their unparalleled strength. Use a Dragon Rider soul to acquire numerous souls or to create something of a great worth. So worms, there's actually the collectible art book that came with the game shows a Dragon Rider on a worm, and the worm is depicted as a much smaller dragon, even smaller than a drake. Let's go ahead and talk to Miracle Lady.
Are you from these parts?
Nope.
My name is Lycia.
Her name is Alicia. Thank you for reminding me.
I've come to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple. I can see that you are well suited to comprehend their wondrous power.
Am I well suited to comprehend their wondrous powers?
But the cost of it. That's for your heart.
She must not have very high standards. I do not have high faith right now, or intelligence, or attunement. She's got she has low standards, not high standards. You got very low standards, Lucia.
I'd heard awful rumors about this place.
Did you?
And I'm afraid they were all true. The king, gone.
Is that what you're
Earth,
hearing?
Ravaged. The burden on the people weighs heavy.
I like to ravage. Okay, I'll stop right there.
I fear that by
I actually
now,
wouldn't.
they may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles.
Now, Guinevere?
Why did I
Okay,
come
I'm done.
here?
I swear I'm done.
Well, do I need any other reason than to spread the gospel of miracles?
So she doesn't seem to
My
remember. I think
preceptor
that's really what
always
that
said
is.
this art should be shared with the world. And such is my only wish.
So why did I come here? Well, at first it sounded a little weird to me, a little off, like maybe she wasn't being true with us, but now, after talking to everyone else, she just doesn't remember anymore. Like everyone else, she's forgetting why she came to Drangleic and why she came here in the first place.
Sometimes I fight the urge to pack up and go back home.
Because you don't know how!
It is... well... I must do this.
Yes, you must. It's imperative.
And being out
so you can
here
teach me
all
miracles.
alone only makes this a more fitting test of my fortitude.
How fortuitous
I
are you?
expected this cathedral to be bustling, but there's hardly a soul to be found
I'm here and I'm all you need, baby.
Without any goings-on, I'll have to move soon. To a place I could gull the... Sorry. Help the gullible by teaching the good word.
So that's what also makes her seem not so trustworthy, is the way she talks about that.
I expected this cathedral to be bustling.
So I don't really think she is trustworthy, but I mean, hell, she's still way of the white type of girl. But anyways, Lycia of Lindelt. Lindelt is very, they are the faith-based people of this game. Very much the faith-based type of people. So, if you go to buy your items, you can get Cleric's Sacred Chime. We already have one, we don't need one. As you can see, held one that we found. A Ring of Prayer that increases your faith. We're not going to need it because we're not using any of that. And yeah, she's extremely extortionist price there with that. And she sells a ton of miracles. She'll be your one to sell miracles. You also kill her for a special thing, but...
no need. The gods frown.
If we go talk to her, she will open up a path to it for us, which we will actually do. Just to show it off. Before I move on. So let's go ahead and travel back to Majula as we've opened this up, so we can go ahead and level up a little bit and use our, I can show you guys how to use the Sublime Bone Dust. Speaking of which, I found out the true use of Bonfire, Ascetics, and Human Effigy, thanks to all you guys commenting on my last video. Again, you guys rock, telling me things I don't know, as I try to claim I know a lot. This game is just so massive. I only had a few days head start, and a lot of those days were spent working on Prepare to Wait, and driving to San Francisco, and driving back in one day and doing interviews and prepping interviews, so, yeah. Let's go ahead and talk to our Emerald Herald again. Bear the curse. Seek the king. That's the only way I'm doing her audio for her, because it's not coming up. That's a common glitch I've had. I'm sure they'll fix it in the patch, but that happens to me quite frequently. So we have, again, 5 more levels we can raise up here real quick like that, just like that. Get a couple more adaptability, let's get some dex, and let's also get some vitality. We'll drop one of those adaptability points off, actually, for now, and get some more endurance. So, there you go, big level up. Now I've got a little bit more on my vitality. So... my defense is going to be a little bit higher with the scaling, as this is A scaling as opposed to these, which are B scaling. So A scaling, which is nice to help out with that. And also I wanted to slowly drop down my equip load so I can roll further. Now, as far as the Sublime Bone Dust goes, actually let's look at the description of it because it's really interesting. Really interesting description on that one. Sublime Bone Dust, where you be at? Here we are. So, they say these are the remains of a saint who cast himself into the bonfire, but we will never know for sure, for soot and ashes tell no story. So they could either be referring to the chosen undead who cast himself into a bonfire, or referring to Gwyn, but it seems to strongly indicate chosen undead, as it's Sublime Bone Dust from, I mean, that's what was used, was undead bones were used before for bonfires and all that, so... it seems like it could be the chosen undead that they're referring to. But I'll let you guys debate what you think. So if we go now to burn, the burn option, what human effigies are going to do apparently is actually make it so you're PvP. It makes it so people are less likely to invade you. Sublime Bone Dust is going to make it so we're going to actually level up our Estus, so now our Estus Flask will heal us for more. So there you can see some forces strengthened the Estus Flask. Really useful. If you drop a Bonfire Ascetic in, that's actually what's going to raise up the numbers you see here and make it so it's basically a new game plus level enemies. But you get new items for doing it, and New Game Plus items, and there's some enemies you're really gonna want to do it on for some really cool lore stuff. So actually a lot of awesome items and lore stuff in New Game Plus that are really worth dropping some Bonfire Ascetics into after you finish an area. You can't do it until after you beat the boss of an area, though, would be my belief. Okay, so, reason I wanted to go back here real quick, once again, sorry I'm not making a lot of progress here, you guys, there's just a lot of back stuff to do here. But you can see Alicia's actually moved over here.
Oh, hello there. This room is not as it seems. There are two, not one pathways leading out.
Say what?
And only
say
this
what? Say what?
Lovely thing, and this, you lovely thing, only runs on
So there she's trying to trick us there
Shall
again.
I provide you with
If
one?
you kill her, you can actually get the device to move the path.
To cast miracles, you...
Nothing interesting there. We already know it. You have to have faith in the god to use miracles, which is your faith.
Miracles have been passed down through us since the first
Now that's
flame.
interesting that she knows that.
Isn't it extraordinary to think they've existed since the very origins of the world?
True. Well, not really, actually.
now,
She's incorrect in
you
that.
can have
Ever
this
since the
power
first
for
flame they
yourself.
have, but not since the origins involving
Don't miss
dragons.
out on the road to enlightenment.
I don't want the road to enlightenment.
What is the first flame?
Yeah, tell me. What is the first flame?
Well, it's... You're not ready to comprehend it, I'm afraid.
Because you don't know. I'm sure she just doesn't
You
know what the first
require
flame is.
more faith and more miracles.
Then again, I do
more
wonder what
miracles.
her dialogue is once you really raise up your faith. I honestly don't know what it is.
To cast miracles.
So that's all she's going to tell us, just a little
You
more about
must-
miracles. But she can move the path for us for 2,000 souls. We don't have 2,000
No,
souls.
the gods.
So let's go ahead and drop some souls here. Again, this is why save souls is for things like this. So let's use 3. That should be enough. Yep. That'll be more than enough. So now we can get her to move the path
Just
for us because
that.
I don't want to kill her. I just don't. And there you can see she's going to be like, oh, look at this magic I'm doing. Praise the heavens. Praise the gods. Nah, as you can see, she actually messed with the switch there, even though she's making it seem like we're praying to move it. It's just trickery. It's FromSoft making a statement with this.
Go ahead then.
I don't know. I don't know if they
May the
are.
power
But
offer your soul.
it's kind of funny there that what they did with that. It's like the praise the power of the gods. We move this. It's actually kind of like Roman and Greek times. That's actually what they did. Here you go, some rogue water. Really smart mathematicians and such were used in Greek times to make it so they actually had automatic doors that would open to the Greek gods' areas that were made and commissioned to some of the really smart mathematicians to make it seem as if it was the power of the gods. So this is something that's been going on way, way a long time ago. Like Greek times, they did this. I actually minored in history in college, and Greek and Roman studies was what I studied the most of. So I think it was actually Pythagoras, if I'm saying his name wrong, who did that. I've never seen this guy's dialogue, because again, I don't have enough faith or dark power, but I think you need dark power for him to tell you everything.
I don't know who you are, but believe
No.
me, the frailty of the weak disrupts.
So I think he'll be the one who does all the dark for us and explains dark and gives you dark magic, but I could be wrong.
I'm interested in one thing, dark, and you haven't the gift.
I want the gift. I don't know what it is in this game, but dark people being associated with sitting in chairs. And you'll see what I mean later in the game, but all the people who are like dark sit in chairs. What's with that? So we're at the Huntsman's Copse, which is where the beta of the game takes place. And with that said, we're going to leave this and go back to Hades Tower. So here you guys have it. We've opened up the Huntsman's Copse, so that is yet another path that you can take. You can also drop into the pit at the beginning, which is yet another path if you buy the cat ring that allows you to take fall damage, but again, we're not going to do that quite yet either. We're going to go back to the Hades Tower of Flame because I know what you guys want to see, and it looks like we have time to do it. So I will do it. I like to please. I was kind of debating if I really wanted to talk about this or not, because my theory on what we're about to see involves endgame stuff, and I don't want to delve into that. So I'm going to try and talk about it without delving into that, and I will talk more about it further in the game as we go. Sorry, I'm not going to satiate your curiosity all the way, but I will attempt to explain this somewhat. I don't know if I fully understand it yet, but these are just some theories of mine based on some things that are closer to the end game. As I haven't been in the game yet, but I'm very, very close to the point where I can. I'm just trying to drop as many Bonfire Ascetics as I can before I do that, as I really want to get some NG plus items before I move forth and beat the game, and then I'm in New Game Plus. So, plus I've been enjoying PvP stuff and having fun with that. So this is gonna be some green blossoms. I think it acts just like it did in Dark Souls 1, which would be your agility, so, or stamina recovery. Yeah, so temporarily boosts stamina recovery speed. At one point, this herb was avoided due to its unusually bitter taste, but once its effects became known, it was harvested to near extinction by merchants. Now only exceptionally rare wild specimens of this are left. I think I kind of missed reading some of that. I think you're going to trigger 2 of them here, which is unfortunate. I actually triggered 3. Let's see if I can take care of this guy. Come on. Okay. Yeah! Alright. That was awesome. Whoop. Dodge away! Wow, I didn't think I'd hurt that guy that much, but that worked out pretty well. Got an old knight shield. And now this guy is again going to be that method I was talking about before. Just roll past one of his attacks. He'll attack 3 times, maybe 4. Just be careful for if he decides to do a 4th. And once again, roll away from the first attack, roll through and past him. And that's all you need to do to take him out. Now, something I actually never knew about until literally today, as John found this today and showed me this. There's yet another one of those switches that's going to appear over here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. That will also help you face the boss. So, again, like I was showing off, you don't need all of these to fight the boss, but it just helps. And this is something I actually didn't know about until today. It just basically makes the room a full room. So now there's literally no drop-off in that room with this thing. But you don't need it. So, it's up to you guys if you really want to deal with killing these 3 guys. I suggest just running through them, to be honest. I do recommend raising the first switch. But these other ones, I'd say just run through. So let's go ahead and bait this guy over here, because I'd rather not deal with 2 of these guys at once. So that's what we're going to do, is make it so we don't have to. So let's go ahead and roll through again with this. Strategy is the best strategy. And this should be able to take him out with these 3 attacks. So, take care of these guys really easy with that strategy, just being able to roll through. And again, this is why I don't really target in the game. I found it's more useful to not target. Just so you can do things like this, like rolling through and finding where you want to go. This guy, oh no! I thought that he was going to be a little bit faster than that to hit me. I was trying to get that 4th hit on him, but I missed. Some more cracked blue eye orbs. So, finding all these cracked blue eye orbs might indicate something to you guys, which we will see a little bit later on, why there's so many cracked blue eye orbs here. There is a reason for it, and actually, again, cool thing with the game that they actually did that, making it so there is a reason for it being there, and it makes a lot of sense why these guys have those cracked blue eye orbs. So this guy you actually do need to kill, and that's to drop this, and that's why I was taking care of those guys. You can run through and just take care of this guy by himself, but the other ones will chase you. So might as well just do it this way and save yourself some trouble. So this way, when you do fight this guy, you don't need to worry about the other guys coming to chase you down. And right over here, you can see where the switch is going to appear. Let's go ahead and pull the lever for that. And that will drop down this drawbridge and the Heide Tower of Flame. This area just looks magnificent. Magnificent, if I had to give a word for it. We're actually going to find a really useful ring right here, too. And at the Cathedral of Blue, notice we've been finding those blue, what are they called again? Those cracked blue eye orbs right there. Notice we've been finding those. And we just got to the Cathedral of Blue. So in this chest is going to be some useful stuff. You guys are going to dig. Human Effigy and the Ring of Binding. Now, so I think we got a helmet here. We also now have the oh, wait, no. So the Falconer helmet that you buy looks pretty fun, but for some reason I thought the Hades soldier helmet was around here somewhere. Anyways, whatever. The main thing I want to talk about here is this ring that we just got, which is the Ring of Binding. It's just like the ring from Demon Souls, which I'm kind of blanking on the name of right now, but An unusual ring of unknown origin limits the wearer's HP reduction when hollow. Alas, this ring will not make you human. What is lost is not easily retrieved. But it makes it so as you hollow further and further in the game, you're not going to have as much of a deduction in your health. So if you want to stay hollow and not worry about wasting or using human effigy, this is a really good ring to use, this Ring of Binding here. So guys, that's going to wrap up this Let's Play Dark Souls 2. Let's find the wave, and guys, I will see you next time. Oh, wait, you want to see what's through this boss fog gate? Oh, okay. Alright, we'll go through the boss fog gate. Okay, then. So, what the hell? A cathedral in the old Dragon Slayer that looks just like Gwyn. What? Oh, and he has dark magic too. I'm glad I got this out of him. He looks just like Ornstein? What? What madness is this? Absolute madness, I say. So, here you have the old Dragon Slayer. Again, I recommend using the same strategy that we've been using. Just stay close to him, roll through his first attack, and then you'll have a chance to attack him again. If he does that, just roll once and he will pass you. I think he's a little bit easier than he was in Dark Souls, Ornstein, but what the hell is going on with this old Dragon Slayer, right? Am I right, guys? Am I right? So, let's talk about that after I beat him. We'll talk a little bit more about his lore implications. But again, just like in Dark Souls, he breaks the pillars. It is in a cathedral type of area, just like in Dark Souls. So, yeah, really crazy that we're fighting Ornstein again. I know this was a giant WTF moment. Let's get away from his abyss, his hexes. But yeah, he uses hexes as opposed to lightning, which is really interesting there with him. And you can see the armor does look a little different. It's a little older. It's silver as opposed to gold. And I'm going to use lightning magic against him, using his old weapon, using your own old weapon against you, Ornstein. This is what you're supposed to be using. This is why you're losing to me, is because you're using hexes now. You've changed, Ornstein, and I don't like it. You've changed for the worse. Gone to the dark side. But keep in mind that hex stuff might be important. This is something I'm actually not sure about with that hex stuff, but I think it is. The fact that he's using darks. So it's going to raise a really interesting question with him. And there you go. Ornstein, not nearly as difficult this time around. The old Dragon Slayer, the boss. I haven't had a chance to go New Game Plus and Bonfire Ascetic him to see if anything's different, but we get the old Dragon Slayer soul from him and old Leo ring from him. So let's go ahead and take a look at both of these. So, the old Dragon Slayer soul. The old Dragon Slayer is reminiscent of a certain knight that appears in old legends. Keyword here is reminiscent. It's not saying he is, but he's reminiscent of an old Dragon Slayer from Legends. And we go ahead and look at the ring that we just got from him. The old Leo ring. It is the Leo ring from Dark Souls. It's just now a lot older. So the beloved ring of a dragon-slaying knight. Strengthens thrust weapon counterattacks. After many years of use, the ring's face is worn down, but close inspection reveals an engraved lion. So, this old Dragon Slayer knight, there's a couple possibilities. One is that possibly Ornstein survived to an extent, or his soul survived, and was corrupted by the abyss, and that's why he uses hexes. Or this is someone else wearing Ornstein's armor that is a reminiscent of Ornstein. My theory is, and what I think at the moment, this is just a working theory as I haven't gotten far enough to have a permanent stamp theory. I think it's a bit of a combination of both in some ways, and I can't really talk about why without ruining some of the further lore of the game. But I think both of those elements are at play here. So I can't really talk about why that is, but to me I think both of those are sort of at play in a way. And that's something I'll talk about as we get further in the game. So I'm sorry if you guys really want to hear some cool lore and my hands-down theory on him at the moment. Again, I haven't finished the game yet, so until I finish the game, it's hard for me to throw out final theories on things. Like, yes, this is absolutely what it is. But this is when if you watch my interview with Takumi Zo, this is actually exactly what I was asked the game about that I cut out of the interview, was this. I was like, so why is the old Dragon Slayer in the game? Why is Ornstein there? What is going on? Because I had literally just gotten to this point in the game before I interviewed him. So I was trying to ask him and get some sort of answer out of him. So, Anyways, guys, I will talk, don't worry, I will talk about him more in future videos. I'm sure at some point I will have a lore video out on him as I discover more about him and as everyone discovers more about him. Oh, here's where the Heide Knight Iron Mask is. That's why. It's because it's right here. So Heide Knight Iron Mask, we've got the Heide Knight Sword there, and now which is what I'm using, and the Heide Knight Mask. Right there. Whether Heide refers to a kingdom or is just a name for the land is not clear, for no records date back far enough to tell. All that is known is that the Way of Blue has its origins in Heide, and that Heide was later subsumed by the sea. Here we have a sea and an area subsumed by the sea right here. And Heide Knight Iron Mask. Cool stuff right there. Kind of like the Falconer Helm, they're really using those feathers at the top, similar to Solaire's armor. But they're using a lot of like feathers and cloaks in play this time. I like the way the cloaks handle in this game. I like the way they look and the physics effects behind them. Another Clorac Blue Eye Orb ×3. And now we will talk to this guy right here.
Being. This is no place for one such
Say
as
what?
You.
Say what? Say
Be
what?
gone.
So he's not going to talk to us.
Transient be.
Oh wait.
Be
So here's the interesting dialogue. Sorry.
Transient. You would never make a knight of the blue, and I have nothing more to say. Be gone. You are not needed.
So I think the implication here is this could be the area of Heide, or at least where Heide was. The Way of Blue is here. This is actually how you join the Blue Sentinels, is by talking to him. He is who you join the Blue Sentinels through. And we have an area subsumed by the sea right here, as it was saying that the Heide Knights may have possibly been, or the area where the Hades were, subsumed by the sea. We see everything has a blue top to all the cathedrals. I think this could be the area right here. I mean, this is the Cathedral of Blue right here. So I believe that is a distinct possibility with it. Now, if you want to join up with the Blue Sentinels, you have to have a token of fidelity. You can find one from just playing the game through PvE, or if you help someone by doing the just by using a white sign soapstone. I can't talk right now. If you use a white sign soapstone and you help someone beat a boss, you will get a token of fidelity as well. So that's another way to get tokens of fidelity, which will then also help you level up in the Blue Sentinels. You also get a token of fidelity for being a Blue Sentinel, and a Blue Sentinel is summoned to help someone who's part of the Way of Blue who gets invaded. So that's how that mechanic works. So if you're part of the Way of the Blue, and you get invaded, and you're wearing your ring and you're part of it, and you get invaded, a Blue Sentinel will come and help you out if they are wearing their Blue Sentinel ring. So that is how that dual covenant mechanic works. So here we have the Blue Cathedral opened up, and we made a bunch of progress here. We finished off a whole nother area, beat a couple bosses, and yet one more Let's Play, beat 2 more bosses. A whole bunch of crazy lore implications this time around. And yeah, I think that'll wrap up this Let's Play. And something I should ask you guys too, and some things to talk about as I level up here and wrap up this Let's Play. So one of you guys who was watching were complaining that these Let's Plays are too long, an hour is too much to watch. And I kind of do this because I don't want to bombard you guys with too many Let's Plays. As opposed to doing 2 half-hour episodes, I just do an hour one and assume, okay, you guys can watch 15 minutes if you want, and then come back and watch another 15 minutes, or watch however much you want. But would you guys prefer for me to do 30-minute episodes? Would that be better? If I do 30-minute episodes, that means I can upload more episodes. Because literally this amount of time for me to make one episode means that it's literally 2 episodes now. But it's not really going to change anything. It just means that now I have 2 episodes to upload at 2 different days and times. So I would be uploading more frequently, but it'll really be the same amount of content. Or do you guys prefer these longer 1-hour ones, which is kind of what I like watching, and that's why I did it this way. But if you guys prefer the half hours, I can do half hours. So let me know what you think. And then the other thing, just again, I'll bring up if you guys do want to see streaming from me. Oh my god, 7 level ups from that. That's crazy. You can really reach level ups fast in this game. Anyways, if you guys want to see streaming stuff from me, I'm going to raise this up a couple times. I do want some more vitality, actually, so I can have more equip load. And more not poise, just more equip load. But it'll also give me more defense. Anyways, if you guys want to see streaming from me, do follow my Twitch channel, Dave Control Live. And let me know if you guys want to see live streams. And I'll do, I might start up some weekly live streams at some point in time. So let me know. Again, that's Dave Control Live on Twitch, twitch.tv, and I'll put that in the description. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This will actually wrap us up. I was just joking last time. So guys, again, thank you so much for joining me for this Let's Play Dark Souls 2. Keith is happy. Actually, Keith is so excited about it. He's gonna do the pump up motion. Pump up. Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah. I forgot that wasn't the leap in the air excited motion. You actually get that in the forest. I really like that one, so I'm gonna have to go to the forest just so I can get that motion. But guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Later, guys.